yourselves.
All right. Who are you?
I'm Colleen Quickenbeard. I work for Audition. You probably know me best as Monkey D. Luffy in One Piece, or he's a Hawkeye in Full Metal Alchemist. I also directed half that series, the original. And, you know, Yuko and Holic and Gohan in Dragon Ball Z Kai, and a few other people that we'll talk about later when you ask about them.
Yay! And you're also a director.
I do that, yeah, with the Full Metal Alchemist and the Panty and Stockinging, and I play Scanty and Panty and Stocking, and I directed Steins Gate. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jamie Markey, and I am also, like these two ladies, they work with animation. I'm a voice actor, and I have directed, and I am a writer. So I'm Panty and Panty and Stocking. I wrote that. Yay! I was pretty good on that. And I am the Witchblade in Witchblade. And you know what's popular here? I'm Winslet Walker.
Woohoo! Black Cat.
And Black Cat, yeah. And Hitalia, the narrator, Hitalia wrote Hitalia as well. But then she's not going to be on her pole all the time. And so things like that and other things you'll ask about. Look at all those hands like recording us right now. Are we okay with that? Are we cool with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Trina Nishimura. I'm a voice actor at Funimation as well. You may know me from such notable titles as Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I play Lon Bon. I'm also Mari and Evangelion. I'm also in Witchblade. We both are. I play Shiori. Although I try and kill Jamie in the show, I actually love her.
We both do.
True. I think you actually do kill me. Yeah, no.
Spoiler!
Oh, sorry. I'm also in Strike Witches with Jamie. I'm in Jose. I'm Tiz. I've signed a lot of those.
I know.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. We also say the same thing at the same time sometimes. It's a little awkward. That's fine. It's fun. Also, I'm in Steins Gate. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you. And I'm really excited about that. I got to work with Colleen on that one. That's awesome. And J. Michael Taylor, who's also here. So we welcome your questions at this juncture.
We'll gradually wake up, we promise.
Yeah, it's true. I'm so sorry.
I promise nothing.
It will probably go faster once you ask questions.
Yeah.
So I'm giving the floor to you.
Yeah. Okay, B-hand. That is up.
If we've learned anything over the last few days from the comic book artists, is that artists who generally have to do other people's work eventually want to do their own work. So since the three of you are very talented writers, do you ever think about collaborating on a project or doing a project independent of the anime that you've been assigned?
I think Trina and I would both like to be a part of Jamie's next project.
She's
the creative one. I am happy to direct or produce whatever anybody tells me to be in, and I love acting, but I don't really have any aspirations to creating my own series stuff.
I would love to, but you have to also realize most of what I write, because it is comedic, a lot of it's mine, and I follow the plot for most of a lot of what you see that I do is original stuff anyway, but she's brilliant. I am brilliant. It's true. But yes, I do have other writing things that I work on as well, and I think you know, other voice work, we all enjoy doing other voice work outside of animation as well.
Yes, yes. Okay, so to be very clear, although I would like to take credit for, and I do have a degree in writing. I have it, Mom, I have it, I get it, I'm a graduate. Although I do have a degree in writing, I do not write for Funimation Entertainment. Jamie is fantastic and Colleen is fantastic, and they are very, very talented women, but I don't want to stand up here and be like, oh yeah, I totally do, right? I don't. However, I would love to do anything that these ladies would like me to do. If they're like, hey, you want to put on this giant blue suit and run around a mall screaming? Yes, I will do that. I will do that because I trust both of them. Which is probably kind of dangerous now that I've said it out loud. What?
Limitation frees creativity for me. If I'm told to be creative within these parameters, then I feel much more free to do that, but I'm far too left-brained to just go outside of the box and start creating on my own.
Yeah, you just have to set your own parameters.
Yep. I can do that. I'm not gonna.
That's what I have to do. Front row. What's up?
You guys have done a lot of writing for voice acting and anime, but if there was another genre you could write for, what would you want to write for? Like, what genre would you want to write for outside of anime?
Outside of anime, the genre that's going to pay the most. I feel strongly about that. Money helps me free my
Creativity.
That's my parameter. Actually, I mean, comedy is one of my strengths, so I really enjoy that. But anything where there's a good characters that have good dynamics, it just depends on the story.
I'd love to write for something with some political intrigue, but that doesn't really happen very often within our genres. Like, there's not a lot of video games. I mean, Mass Effect, there's that. There's some political intrigue there, but you also have to be good at writing action, and a little too typically female to do that.
And Nitty kicks him! Yay! Or you could just be the really subtle writer that in your description, and then a fight ensues.
Yeah, there you
this
go.
Person wins, and just let the director figure out those details. One action movie, it's just instruction, fight. Dialogue, fight. Yes. It'll be $4 million.
I'm going to be the person who can think of creative questions. This is actually for Colleen about a kitty grave. What was of that entire series, what was your favorite arc that you did? Like the favorite part that you wrote or voice acted?
I guess I feel closest to the last section of it, partly because that's when all of it goes down. I mean, that's when it gets really, really interesting and things start taking twists that you don't expect. So there's that, but there's also, at episode 16, that was my first role, by the way. Claire was my first role. And so by episode 16, the director, Justin Cook, had been made producer, and he needed somebody who was close to the project to step in and be director. So I stepped in at 16 and started directing, and then I stepped in and wrote a couple toward the end. So that was kind of when my career got kicked off. And being who I am, I took it way too seriously. And so I was that nerd that showed up when I first started directing. The first day I had a whole legal pad full of notes. They know the process as we do it does not require a legal pad full of notes. So yeah, I showed up and I was over prepared. I'm sure
What were you
my
wearing?
actors crazy. Definitely slacks.
Oh, that's so cute.
It took me a while.
Shoes? Did you wear sensible shoes?
No, I believe it was heels because that's power.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, how old were you?
Yeah. 25.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that picture.
Yeah. It took me a while at Funimation to stop wearing heels and slacks and skirts and blouses.
Oh.
Now she doesn't wear anything.
Yeah. So it was probably the last section of the show.
When you guys try out for a character and they give you the profile of the character, getting to know that character and get it, is there a point in a series like the character changes halfway through and they didn't warn you and you're like, okay, I don't really like this character anymore? Is there ever that series like you could have to change it?
Did you guys hear the question?
Yeah, I love it.
No, she wants to know is there ever when we're auditioning, like we think the character is one way and then we get the role and then it switches and we're like, I hate this person now. I mean, I've had them change, like change up and then be different, but usually that's what's exciting. Like that's fun. Rarely do I hate characters that I voice.
If there's a change in a character, it's usually because they have multiple dimensions. And it's really nice to voice a character that's not just all about the boobs or all about, I want to cook for you so you'll like me. It's nice to voice a character that has dimensions. So if they change, it's because they have loyalties. And if their loyalties are changing, then that means that they have multiple layers. And that's always pleasant, actually.
Oh, I absolutely agree with Colleen. Like at this point, I think there are certain niches each of us fall into. Like whenever we see, whenever we see like the audition sides, it's like, oh, that's a Jamie. That's a Colleen. There's Colleen. There's Brina. We get it. So there's one of my little niches is the. Francesca Romano, the aeronautic pilot. So like the crazy, like happy little girl, right? And she is constant. That girl, she is happy the whole time. But there are other characters, like Colleen said, that if they have depth and they have dimension and they actually get to take part in the story and they're not just the boobs in the background or the little girl that's obsessed with Jamie's boobs in the background. Well, not Jamie's boobs, I mean Jamie's characters. It doesn't matter.
She was fascinated with mine, actually.
So, well, I believe you. But I think that voicing characters that do change is actually really exciting, and not knowing going into the audition what's going to happen is kind of cool too, because you get to grow with the character and change with the character. So I like it. I like surprises.
Hopefully, ideally, if there was going to be a huge character change, like at the end of Full Metal Alchemist, somebody would warn you beforehand, a director would warn you so that you were preparing the character for that eventuality. But in the case of Full Metal Alchemist, it wasn't done when we started. We had no idea when we cast the show what was going to happen with that character.
Don't like to know ahead of time. Right. No, don't tell me.
Well, you judge for yourself as a director if you want to tell them or if you don't. It's not always up to the actor. But like with Vic did not want to know what was going on, and Mike actually completely agreed with that. So we didn't tell him what was going to happen because he wanted to be surprised as the character was surprised. Some people would rather know so that they can flesh out the character beforehand and have the character story in their head. But regardless, if it's important, if you're going to change gender, then hopefully somebody would warn you. Give you a little heads up. Yeah.
This question is mainly for Jamie. I know that stalking was a very explicit role, but was there any boundaries, any things that you weren't allowed to say or do?
I was actually painting and stalking. I was painting. Was there a thing? I was given strict instructions from the Japanese licensor to make it as vulgar as possible within the realms of United States law. So that's what I had to work in. My challenge was, pushing the envelope with the vulgarity and all of those, the imagery, but yet still make these two really crass, foul-mouthed characters charming and lovable at the same time. So that was my challenge, was being crass in a way that wasn't from a mean place, it was from a likable place. Likable place, yeah. That was my big challenge as far as just the boundaries, personal boundaries. No, I don't have any problem with any of that. That's why I get those shows.
To write, and you also wrote it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sorry.
No, we're good. Right over there. Yeah.
All right. Well, since the Pretty Maids of Anime in the title appear to be you three rather than any fictional characters, maybe I could tie the two together. Every genre or every group of animation, whatever, has its tropes, has its stereotypes. do you have any pet peeves when it comes to voicing to women in anime, or to voicing women, like women roles in anime? Any particular tropes or stereotypes that really just get on your nerves?
Absolutely, and we're going to get in trouble for talking about them because there are a lot of fans who really, really like specifically the types that we hate.
Yeah.
That's true. But thank you for, no, you're fine.
No, I'm still going to talk about it.
Yeah. I would like to say
We
thank
would
you
just
for
like
calling
to
us pretty.
apologize. Apologize ahead of time.
True story.
For
Who's recording
crushing
this?
everyone's
Cameras off. Cameras off.
Yeah. I can't even audition for the quiet, shy girls because they're all so freaking sincere. I can't even do it without sounding sarcastic. I can't. Like, I don't have the capability to do that. So that's my thing, like the super sweet, oh, I'm so afraid of life and I need this to save me because I'm just a girl. I want to punch people in their throat.
It's awful, and they're always so dumb, those soft ones. They're so stupid. It's like, really, you need somebody to, oh, you fried something in the microwave? That's
And now you're going to cry?
Oh, you're going to cry. Now
He's
you're
crying
crying.
about it.
Are you kidding me? Because you're afraid he's not going to like you because you fried the omelet that you were making for him that you specifically learned how to make because you wanted to make it for him and you didn't know how to cook because apparently you're stupid and you never learned how to make an egg, right?
And you get it together, lady. Come on, Japan. Give me something interesting. We get it. We
What
get
is
it. You're like women.
It's called Moe?
Yeah.
I have this hilarious story. I was at a convention and with oh, I forget his name. I just forgot his name. Anyway, this guy. And we were in an autograph line, and coming through the line, there was like, you know, people will sometimes at anime-specific conventions will use the name of the character they are, and that's on their name tag or whatever their badge is, you know, that character's name. So this, we had like 3 in a row of different people. We were asking what, you know, what that character was from, where it was from Pokemon, which is what he was in, and all of this different stuff. And then this guy came through, and he was like, "Oh, so you're a fan of Moe?" And he goes, "No, my name's Mo." I love that. I was like, "Oh, what is Moe?"
I'm familiar with that question.
What is Moe? It's when, you know, it's.
Does anybody have a good definition for Moe?
It deals
Go.
with the kind of like it's a Japanese idea that something's adorable and lovable, but not necessarily sexually attractive.
That actually makes me like it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Not necessarily sexually attractive, because I've never gotten that impression.
They're adorable because they
always
have double D's. It's cute. It's so cute. Not sexual.
The whole gothic Lolita thing? I know. That's what I get in trouble for.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
you have to understand, those girls look like they're 8 years old.
That's
And there is an element of not okay with that being sexualized.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And turning it into a body pillow and calling that okay, I have a problem with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I will say on my Facebook when people post the like naked pictures of whatever the anime stuff, I turn you mofos in every time. I'm like, people are okay. I report them all. Because it's so inappropriate. I don't want to see a cartoon nipple.
If she's a full-grown woman dressed in a little Lolita costume, adorable, fine, whatever. You go have you knock it out. I don't like the 8-year-old looking ones.
Right.
That's
And I also don't think that they should be wearing the pantyhose that tight, because we all know, ladies, if you're wearing them that tight and that's happening, it's not comfortable. You're not going to look like you're enjoying that.
That's the problem Jamie has with it.
I don't like it. It's not realistic. Yeah. Unlike quadruple D's. Realistic.
I really like it when that some of the women of anime, some of the tropes, as you were saying, are that we're stronger than people give us credit for. And I have absolutely no problem with that aspect of it, or even using sexuality in that aspect of it, because that sometimes is where women's strength comes from.
Agreed.
So I have no problem with that. It's just the young ones that don't have
The young
boobs
ones,
yet.
that's real messed up. For sure. It's just messed up. Like, especially, okay, all right. Freaking shower scenes. Why do we need a shower scene here? This isn't a bit. Why do we need to go to the beach? Why are we at the beach? There's no reason for all of us to be at the beach right now. Like, I don't know. Oh, we need to go into the room and we all have to change together. Oh, weird, the boys stole our clothes. That's become kind of funny.
I like it.
Like, oh, it's the beach.
The beach run. Yeah. I know how this is going to go.
I was wondering when that episode was coming up.
Right.
Whose top comes off?
Right. That's when the girl who's always heavily clothed, you're like, oh, that's how big they are. Well,
She's always very shy while the other girls are poking her boobs on the bath scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was gonna call you on with the Lumiere.
Well, yeah, I played Claire.
I know you did.
Yeah.
But you had Lumiere, and I have to call you on.
Who is you?
Trina. On, unless I'm wrong, I think I'm right. Lucchini from Strike Witches.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure.
We are absolutely all in all of those series.
Oh, yeah, no.
That does not mean we necessarily approve of them. And I have become a lot more particular about what I'll accept, for sure. But yeah, I mean, we can't escape.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be working if we would turn those down.
Yeah. And I mean, we can dislike a certain trope or, and still do a good job at it.
So when I say call on, I just mean, did you not enjoy, for example, doing Lucchini?
No, Lucchini. But I did. No, I love her. I mean, she's little and she's like cute or whatever, but she's not in the way that it's written, in the way that it's done. I mean, she's not, chasing after boys and boys aren't chasing after her.
Like, she's not sexualized.
No, she's in love with her best friend who happens to have giant knockers, and that's cool or whatever, and like she may or may not, mess with the knockers, but that doesn't necessarily
She enjoys them.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, she'll have her own someday, but until I've been there, So, I mean, she was a really fun character to play. She was also super strong, and she was super opinionated, and she didn't let anybody mess with her people. And like, when it came time to defend her land, like she was all about it. Like she wasn't weak at all. She was super hardcore. And yeah, she like was super high pitched. Really high-pitched and really happy. But she was also like really kind of encouraging. Anytime they had that little tooth, like sticking out a little tooth, yeah, but she was awesome. I love her. But I think there are characters certainly that we've all done that aren't necessarily ones that are great, but
or it's a great character that it doesn't have to be cheapened that way, but they are for whatever reason. So you find what you love about the character and you roll with that. Maybe there's a scene where they're running around for panties, whatever.
Right.
But
or just in panties.
Or just in panties, right.
I don't know about you girls, but it took me a while to figure out what I did and did not approve of when I was doing anime. I mean, I've been doing it for 9 years now, and it's definitely changed. My opinion of things have changed over the years. Because when you start out, you just want to be accepted in what you're doing. Like, I just wanted all the roles that I could get, and so I'd get something, I never have done a Gothic Lolita character, but I'd get something in a show like that, and I'd feel like, well, there's a reason that is acceptable, and blah, 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 blah. And it's not to say that anybody in that little dress is not acceptable. It's not the dress that I have a problem with, obviously. But I think over the years I've come to draw a line between when it's okay and when it borderline's not okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah, there's no borderline for me. It's all fine. If someone's going to voice it, might as well be me. That being said, some of the shows, if I don't get cast, it's not like I'm brokenhearted.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one show, I can't remember what it was, but it was a very like aggressive show. Like it was really, it was demonstrating these awful atrocities that are pushed on women, like sexual trafficking and abuse and all this other stuff. And it was right when I was first started. It was Speed Grapper.
Oh.
It was right when I first started, and I was like, is this something that I want to be a part of? Do I really want to come in here? Like, if I showed this to my Nana, would she be okay with this, And I think that there are times where you're like, okay, well, like in that case, it was difficult material, and it was something that kind of redefined in my mind, like what I thought was okay and what wasn't. Like, is something that's, a bunch of girls running around in panties, like poking each other and like towel whipping. Okay, I get it. And then there are things like that where it's like, oh, that's awful, and it's being described in this way, and it's I played a girl that was kidnapped as a child and trafficked, and her brother, like the main bad guy, like, finds her, and she's basically a destroyed shell of what she was, and he kills her to save her, right? Sorry. It's one of those things, like in anime, because it's such a, because the genre, yes, it's animated, so you tell people, oh yeah, cartoons, I voice cartoons. People are like, oh really? Like SpongeBob? And I'm like, kind of like SpongeBob, and sex trafficking and stuff is involved. But I think he kept getting wrung out. I think she's like you have to, oh, I get it. like you have to define yourself, within your own comfort zone as to what you want to do and what you don't want to do and what you are willing to do. So,
and I mean, like a show like Speedgrapher or like Rin, I'm still happy to be in those. I think those were smart. Like I really enjoy those shows.
Great shows.
And I don't think that there's anything in them that's saying this is good.
Yeah,
this is the way things should be, or women should be treated.
Yeah.
It's just a work of fiction based on something that could have happened. And hey, isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
Let's point that out.
Yeah. It's just something that, like, when I saw it, I was like, wow, that's hardcore for animation, you know? Or like, oh, what was the movie? Kill Bill. Kill Bill, their animated scene. Like, you know, there are things that you can do in anime that express this atrocity that you couldn't do with real life actors.
Yeah.
Which is what makes it such a cool vehicle to express people's art. And so that's what I like about it, that you can do things in anime that you can't do in real
There's
life.
different levels of why one thing might be okay and something else. It's
Yeah.
very personal.
It is very personal, and case by case. She's had her hand up forever. Sorry.
This question is more for Jamie and Trina, but could you please express your thoughts and opinions on your characters from Jiyose?
Jiyose? Oh, I liked Kareem. She was hardcore, very confused, tragic figure. It was fun.
What's my boyfriend's name? Only he's not my boyfriend because Jamie steals him.
Thor.
What are you gonna do? Thor. Oh my god, I got so sick of saying Thor. Thor! Oh, Thor!
And then all my character had to do was say, no.
Thor, be my friend, be my friend.
There's a lesson there, ladies.
That's true.
And gentlemen, there's a lesson.
Where are you going? Like me! I loved Jose. It was really fun. It was one of my first really strong girl characters, so that was really awesome. She was tough and she didn't care and she was like fun and whatever. When I found out that Jamie's character ended up stealing my man, I wasn't too happy about that. But yeah, it was a great show. Dozens was fun to work with, and it was one of my first major roles. So it's a very great, he's my heart in that show.
Funny story, that is the show that I auditioned script writing on.
Oh, really?
So I wrote 2 episodes, and they were the ones where Karim was introduced, and I thought she was cool, I like her, I wonder who's going to get her, never thinking it would be. And then it was me. It was really fun. It's also the show where I met Michael Tatum for the first time. I was working on that show because he was directing some of his films, right? It was really fun. Little trivia. You've had your hand up forever, too.
Besides appearance, out of your characters, like which one do you see could you play as in live action?
Other than appearance?
That's really just me.
Like in the storyline or as the character?
As the characters.
Oh, like,
I'd go with Yuko.
Yeah.
From Holly.
I was like,
Let's go with Yuko. Yuko, yeah, definitely. That would be fun.
are you looking for help? Maybe. I would.
What about from Evangelion?
yeah, I was gonna say Mari, but she's batshit, man.
And your point is? So, Mari.
Yeah, this is Mari. I would be Mari. She's hella fun.
You're just playing her, you're not playing her.
Yeah, but like,
It should be fun to play.
oh, I could do my own stunts. Yeah, I wouldn't depart.
For sure. I'm serious, the narrator from Italia. It's also about as much as I want to be on film. Yeah. I would wear those costumes that Nico gets to wear in Holic. I would wear those. She's just drunk a lot, that would be unfortunate. If it wasn't for the costumes, I would say Witchblade. But then there's the costumes. I do not need a blade in my crotch. Debatable.
Yeah, throughout all your careers, you've obviously done many characters. For each of you, which was the character you became most attached to and why?
Monkey D. Luffy, because I've been with him forever.
Most attached to. I have, like many like many children from the 80s that grew up, I know, that grew up in the MTV generation, I have a kind of bad memory and a stutter problem, apparently. I also, like, once the new thing happens, like, yes, there are characters that I hold near and dear. But at this moment, I have to say Makise Kirisu from Steins Gate. I am in love with her. I'm in love with the show. I mean, she's a very smart person. She's a very strong person.
No spoilers.
She's awesome. I really love her. Like, everything that she goes through and everything that she does isn't because she's a girl. And it's not, oh, she's smart for a girl. Oh, she's talented for a girl. She's smart for a human. She is talented, like, as a human, not like, and I love that about her. I love that she never plays the girl card, and when other people enforce or push that on her, she's like, whatever, I'm just better. Like, take it or leave it. I don't care. I really don't. And I love that about her. I love how strong she is, and I really love that show, and I really love that character. And there's so much, like, recording it with Colleen was so amazing, and she did such a great job on it. It's really
That's
great.
seriously my favorite show to come along since Full Metal Alchemist. And that is being said after Panty and Stocking, which I also love.
Love that.
Thank you for that.
It's kind of weird, like, yeah, because
I had 3 in a row that I was like, oh, this is awesome, this is the best thing since Full Metal Alchemist. This is the best thing since, this is the best thing since. And Fractal, Panty and Stocking, and then Steins Gate, and by them all, they're awesome.
Yeah, dude, right?
And, well, and like, it's funny too, those, it's hard to compare those two shows.
Yeah.
Like, they're totally different.
Yeah.
But I guess it's great that way. Yeah. For me, Masani Amaha, Witchblade is one because she's my first major role, and she has a journey. Boy, does she have a journey. True. And then I'm really bad at favorites, so I usually have like 4. I would say Panty from Panty and Stocking because. And on that one specifically because I was a writer on it. Anytime I'm a writer on a show and I'm in the show, I'm going to be more attached to the entire thing. Because she was probably a little irritated with me coming in and being like, what does this person sound like? Can you play what they sound like? Can I see what they do you mind if I look at the scene real quick? And then anytime she'd show me something, this is what I do. And then in the same vein, you know, the narrator from Italia is another one because same thing, I wrote it, and then she's hilarious, and it's ridiculous, and can do whatever, and then I get to make fun of a lot of my friends in it. It's a good time. So there's 3. Yeah. I'm sick of it, Luffy.
Question.
Right there, red bracelet, yeah, her wrist thing. Sorry.
That's everybody.
Oh, I was the only one whose hand was up. Everybody in there.
Same vein as the rest of the questions. What role did you really want to get? Either you did get or want to get in the future. What role did you?
Luffy. Sorry, I'm totally ready, so I'm just jumping in. I keep answering first because I know the answer. Monkey D. Luffy. I badly wanted Luffy. When I first came in to audition for One Piece, I was auditioning for Nami because I figured that was the only one I had a chance at, or Robin. And Mike asked me to audition for Luffy, and immediately I was like, oh my god, I really want this role. And we went through a big audition process because that one had to get approved by the Japanese. So he sent it off, and they wanted it gruffer. And so he sent it back a second time. I was like, yeah, okay, that hurts, but please give me Luffy. And when I got it, I was definitely the happiest I've been in getting cast for anything.
How many hours can you do Luffy in a row?
4.
Yeah.
If it's just funny stuff and like la 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 la, I can stretch it to 5. But if it's all yelling, it's 3.
We have limitation.
Yeah, especially when you're yelling it in this voice.
Oh my gosh.
I would say one that I wanted that I didn't get was Holo from Spice and Wolf, because I could not cast myself as that. Otherwise, I would have. And Colleen, what's a role that I really wanted?
I cannot think of one.
Maybe Panty from Panty and Stocking.
You were so disappointed when you got that
I
role.
was. Actually, it's the only thing that kept me sane when I was stuck on an elevator in Denver. I found out that I was cast as Panty. Well, actually, Tara, who does our booking, did I tell you? She messaged me. And she's like, yeah, we need you to come in for Panty and Stocking. I was like, how many, do you know who it is? She's like, I'm assuming it's a big role because we need you for like 40-something hours. I was like, yeah. And then immediately I texted Monica. And then we're walking to the elevator. I was talking to Patrick Simons. And get on the elevator, and I am claustrophobic, first of all, and
Super duper.
really hate elevators. If an elevator is full, you will see me facing the wall because that will keep me from punching everyone on the It's bad.
It's awful.
Yeah, she's been through that.
It's
And
awful.
So, like I was on a really crowded elevator yesterday, and I shook for like half an hour afterward. So, I don't like it. I don't like
You hide it
elevators.
well. I've never noticed.
Thank you. Yeah, I just breathe. But this was, we were stuck for 45 minutes on this elevator, and I was just texting the whole time. I was like, everything's fine. I'm stuck on an elevator, but guess what? It's really funny. And then Michelle sends me these really sweet, you're fine, because she knows, and she's like, you're gonna be fine, and Vic's like, you're probably gonna die there. So we're in friend.
I think the role that I've wanted a lot of roles, but one that I really wanted and got was Mari from Evangelion.
She did win that.
I wanted it bad. It was one of those because the franchise is so important and the show itself is so important to me, and I was so excited about it. There was only one role, one new role that was major, and I remember coming in and looking at, because when you walk into Funimation, you can look at the sheet to see, what booth you're going to and who's auditioning and whatnot. And it was just pages of girls, well, not pages, there was 2. But there were all these amazing, amazing voice actors that came in to read for Mari. And I was like, well, there it goes. I remember going in and auditioning, and I was really happy with my audition. I was like, all right, well, if that doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's cool, because that's what you have to do as an actor, is be like, I love it, and okay, I hope I get it, and if I don't, I don't, but I really want it! So
as long as you do your best.
Right, as long as you do your best and do whatever you can to see it. But, maybe something out of your range. No, not really. That's true, though. No, it's not. So I really wanted Mari, and I was really, really excited when I got her. Really excited. She's such a fun character, and it's such a good show. So I think it's that one. Thank you. I'll just keep going. Really good. I'm sorry.
Tired or drunk? You pick.
Right here.
Okay. So you mentioned that for one of your characters, they had to talk to Japan about whether or not you're the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
So how much input do the original creators or the original people who did the South version of Japan, how much input do they have on what voice actors get cast and stuff like that?
It very rarely happens, and when it does, it's in the original contract. So it depends. Sometimes if it's a really big show like One Piece, the original creators or the mangaka will have a little bit more say. And then sometimes if it's a show that they are just abnormally proud of and they want to keep as much control of as possible, like Spice and Wolf is an example of that. They were very in control of that. And the 3rd season of Shin-Chan was the same way. They all of a sudden decided they wanted to be able to have say over everything. So everything needed approval. All the scripts were sent in for approval on that season. It rarely happens.
Someone had to explain those jokes. I just love it.
Yeah, I love that too. Somebody had to explain incest jokes to them.
What this means
is understand what this word means. last term that we use.
Yeah, oh, I just love that someone had to do that. So great.
I'd love to be on the phone for that. But it rarely happens, and we try when we're going through the contract process. By we I mean people that have nothing to do with me. Try to explain, other important people. Try to explain to the people that we're working with across the ocean that the reason we don't like to give that control is because it's not always possible to explain everything that to another culture. It's not always possible. And that really is applicable to shows like Shin-Chan or Sergeant Frog or funny shows. Jokes don't translate very well. They just don't. And what's funny over there may not be funny over here, and vice versa. So it's...
Spice and Wolf is a great example of that. Too,
Yeah.
just from the other, because, you know, Holo had to be likable, and it was very difficult the way that she's translated to, if that was flat out, she would not have been likable.
Yeah.
So I used cutesiness and sarcasm to make us all adore her. Well, Japanese don't use sarcasm. So there was a lot of conflict with the script of after the fact, after it was recorded.
Why would you say that?
She would never say thank you. Well, she's being sarcastic, but she would never say it. But she would never say those words. And it was like, well, she already has it. That was very interesting. Also, if let's say, your script is going to be reviewed by the Japanese, don't put dirty jokes in the notes.
Scripts are broken up, we should say.
Yeah, they're broken
up. So there's the line number, and then the character name, and then the time code where the line happens, and then the line itself, and any extra like open mouth gasp or whatever, any of those Foley things. And then there's a section for writers to write notes to the director.
Yes.
Sometimes they're sassier than other times.
Golly, if only we knew a sassy redhead writer.
Sometimes they're just calling out what might look like is happening. So anyway, don't do that.
I've had writers write out in the side, I'm trying to think what show it was in, so that you can be on the lookout for it. It's One Piece, I think. There's a little side note in one of the scripts that says, his mouth is on his belt! For like 1 or 2, no, actually it wasn't even 2 frames, it was a sentence. His mouth, like Zorro or somebody, sorry, tickle. His mouth was on his belt instead of on his face. They had accidentally shifted the cell or something. So there is one scene where a guy is talking from his belt. And I think in the section it says, B-Team! B-Team animators.
Yeah. Well, and as the writers and people who do the time code, you have to go through that script frame by frame, so you, whenever someone talks, or you know when that mouth opens and you put that time code in, so they know when to start. Scripts can have anywhere from 200 to 800 cues. It's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of numbers. So, you know, we're used to seeing it frame by frame. So if there's something weird, it's like, why did that animation change for two frames?
For 2 frames, you look like you have some kind of deformity.
Yeah. There's a mouth on your belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, when it's a really weird like that, it's like, oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that is not in any way to do with your question, but we said it anyway.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories of pranks that have happened in like your studio or something?
Sure.
Yeah. Trina? Pranks? Or something funny. It doesn't have to.
Sure. Something funny. So, back at the old studio, we switched studios maybe like 5 years ago?
Oh, longer.
4? Really? Longer?
I think so.
A while ago.
A while back. We used to have whisper booths. What is this? All right, so we used to have whisper booths at
Rooms.
Thank
Whisper
you.
rooms.
Whisper rooms. And so they're like little phone booths, right? And they were padded and everything like that. And we would work really late at the old studio because we had fewer studios, or booths. And so there was one day that I was recording with Bevins, and it was super duper hot as Texas is in the summer. It was super hot, and our air conditioning was out or something in the building, and so they had fans, right? But you can't have a fan in the booth with you because of the noise, right? So
Those booths used to get really hot.
real hot. And so we were just trying to power through and get through the session, and you could open the door between takes or whatever, little air in and then close it, and I was like, you know what, just keep going. We're just gonna keep going. I don't even care. It's fine. I'll power through this. It's no big deal. And it's just getting hotter and hotter and hotter and worse and worse, and you're all insulated in this little phone booth, and you're acting, and so it's awful. And but also, like, when you go to the studio, you never know if it's going to be super cold or super hot, so you bring like a sweater and a tank top, and so I took my sweater off, and I was like, okay, and then I took my shoes off. You can keep your socks on because that floor is not clean. And so I took my shoes off, and I was like, okay, and then at one point I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. So I told the boys, I was like, listen, do not open this door. They're like, why? And I was like, none of your business. And I put the sweater over the window out, right? And I was like, shirts off, pants are done, let's do this. I was ready. I was really ready. And so
I heard that story from their point of view. They're like, all of a sudden,
it was really hot in there. And I was like, and it was one of those moments where
But they don't just tell you that the AC was out. They just Trina got naked in the booth. That's the story. I am gonna call those boys.
The AC was out. It was so hot in there, and so I put the thing over, and so I'm like, okay, we're just gonna power through and get out of here in just a minute. I'm just gonna do these lines. It's totally fine. I can do this in an hour. And so we're recording, and then but you can't hear when you're recording, you can't hear what happens outside. It's because they turn the mic, the director talks to you through your headphones. They turn that off, so you can't hear. I mean, you can kind of hear, but you can't. And so I'm saying this line, and I'm really into this show, whichever show it was, and then I hear Bevins outside go, no, 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 and one of the other floor production guys was like, what? Opens the door, I'm like, really awkward. And I just sat there for a while. I was like, I should probably take those back on. We used to hang wall scrolls over the window.
Oh,
so
really?
that you could take your shirt off. Yeah.
It's so hot in
It's so incredibly hot.
Funny like that. I don't know if I should tell that story.
Oh, now you have to.
Yeah. There was this, I was directing at the time another voice actress, and we were talking about, I had seen this thing on plastic surgery the day before, and that this is specific. You can't, if your nipple is not the size of a quarter, you cannot get breast enhancement through your nipple. It has to be the size of a quarter. Did you know that?
No.
That's medical, so it's okay even if you're young.
What does everyone want to do right now? You want to measure. Long story short, Lindsay and I are nipple twins.
There was this party that we were at. And you and Rita got talking about quarters and nipples. And y'all were like, oh, blah, 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 quarters and nipples, stop, we're both quarters and nipples. And then no, I totally went home and I was like, no. Things that have to change. I totally did it because I was like, I wonder if I'm the same size as Brina J. That is so funny. What's even funnier is that I've seen Brina naked because of her bachelorette party, so I know what your nipples look like now.
Yeah, they don't necessarily look exactly
Whatever.
but they're the same size, and they're fantastic.
I like that everyone slowly leaks information about Brina's bachelorette party. Over the years, everyone's like, oh, and then we got in the tub. Oh. And then, do you remember that old Korean woman? That was amazing. And she wouldn't give Leah her shirt back. I love that old Korean woman. She was so amazing. Do you remember the talking stick? Oh my god!
I've heard the story of it.
Okay, alright, anyway.
Funny in the booth.
Oh my god, I can't top nipples! We only have 10 minutes for me to figure out what to say.
Trying to think.
No, I mean, it's been crazy. I've taken my shirt off in the booth. I was
Why do I get shit for it?
These things have all happened, and Laura falls down a lot. I just don't know what to do. Laura falls down a lot.
My friend's naked. I get naked in the booth.
My favorite thing is when actors leave their Facebook page open on my computer. That is free reign.
Don't even get on while
No, not ever. And they don't ever learn. They're still doing it.
Same mistake.
Yes. I haven't logged into my Facebook account in Chris Sabat's presence in 3 years. You can't. You know, you
My
can't.
phone has a lock on it, not because I'm afraid it's going to get stolen.
But because Chris Sabat.
He will take it, and he'll be tricky. He'll be like, oh, I want to see that picture of your phone. And then all of a sudden, you have a membership to some porn site. Like,
Yeah. So the latest one, you can give Michael Tatum crap about this. He left his open, and so I. Oh wait, no! He didn't even leave his open. I just posted on his page. This was not. It was not his fault.
Oh, I
Still
remember
happened,
that.
I posted on his page. Congratulations to him and Josh for the adoption of their new baby.
and then people freaked out. And everybody
freaked out, and I posted a picture of their new little Chinese baby. Yeah. I was so confused. I was like, they adopted a
You
kid?
can see though that a lot
Yeah.
of people, the funny folk, a
They
lot of
jumped
us
in and just ran.
a lot of us ran.
Oh, he's beautiful, congratulations! All the funny people putting it on there meant that the fans believed it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh my God, she's gorgeous! Congratulations! I can't believe you finally did it.
I wish I was quicker with that, because like I didn't get it until like afterwards. Like I was like, Jamie, oh my God, did you hear? She's like, no, Trina, that's not real. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's real. She's like, it's not. I was like,
It's on his Facebook
you
page.
also, okay, you posted too. All right, yeah.
We were all in on it, even though no one talked about it.
I want to be in on things.
Thank
you. I just want somebody to tell me, like, give me a wink, like, oh, they had a baby. Like, subtle. Who has not asked a question that would like to ask a question? So we only have 2 minutes left.
I was just wondering, I don't know if this was asked before, but what was your hardest character to voice act? Like physically.
Physically hardest.
I answered the same character for like 4
I know, right?
Penny was difficult physically because she was exhausting. So, I mean, my voice would give out after 4 hours because she's screaming. But just physically afterwards, even if I wasn't, and we were all of us that were just like, oh, I need a nap.
Even Monica, who can talk a lot fast.
She can talk a lot. Yeah, and she's the one that's like, I'm used to this. This is easy.
Yeah.
But we're always like, we're still very tired.
Yeah. Your voice might not have hurt, but you were tired when you got out
very
there.
tired. You can took naps. And then let's see. Yeah, we'll go that physically. So I got exhausted. As far as my voicing, I am not brilliant with little boy voices because it is just too hard on my voice. I can't. I'm a delicate creature. I'm a flower.
You're so delicate, too.
Are you finished?
We pulled up. It's awesome because Jamie can like turn. You know, like I love you.
I don't like it when people are rude.
It's awesome. It's like the end of the world. It's like apocalypse red-haired lady coming at you. And you're like, I'm so sorry for whatever I did. We pulled up today and like this security man was like, oh, you can't park here. And Jamie's like,
he was not like, oh, you can't park here. He was like, you're gonna have to get over here.
Jamie straight up like was not delicate. It was not a flower. It was like, oh, we're gonna park here. Not only are we parking here, he's getting our luggage and you're gonna help us with it. Open the door. I was like, I'm really sorry.
broken man.
My hardest voice physically was Matsu from Negama.
Oh, because he talked like that the whole time, in a good way.
And so I would go from like,
Audition to Matsu.
and it was awful. So like, not awful, I mean it was great having two characters, but it was really, really hard on my voice, so I could only do Matsu for like 2 or 3 hours.
I loved your Matsu though.
Thanks, man. Jamie. I think my hardest was in Ragnarok. I played Zealotus, and she's a goat demon. And 4 of you in the world bought that DVD, so it was totally worth it. But she talks like this.
Oh my god. You know what that reminds me of? The Claymore, when they changed in Claymore the first time, that was pretty rude.
Yes, and just the whole time. And she started up, Tyler cast me as that when I was starting with Luffy in One Piece, who I really cared about. So I was mad at Tyler for like a year.
My throat is hurting.
Me too. Yeah.
I have an initial reaction.
Sore.
Yeah, that's a really hard voice, especially when you're whipping people and laughing about it. Oh, wow. But I think overall, probably Luffy, just because he's ongoing. So that's at least 6 hours a week that I'm doing of Luffy screaming. And so.
You do 6 hours of Luffy a week?
That's at the least.
Wow.
In its heyday, it was 6 hours a day.
Yeah, my favorite is to talk to Colleen afterwards. She sounds like salmon.
I don't like to listen to Luffy. He makes me hurt just listening to him.
Yeah, like seriously.
Yeah, I really can't listen to it.
What is that called? It's the bing, the bell thing.
A bell?
No, it's a, no, the bing.
The bell?
And then there's a bell. There's a bell, and then you react. It's a.
Animals for listening?
Thank you.
Oh,
That's
Logan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bell.
That, that's what I call
I love how scientific that was. What is that called? The bing? You should get lots of points for getting that. Whoever that was.
just won the panel.
I love how she looked afterwards like, yeah.
Next time she says that, I'm gonna be like, let me get my science dictionary.
What do you do for your voice to kind of keep it alive?
I karaoke. Lots of water.
Lots of water.
Hot water.
Hot tea.
They say honey and lemon, but I've never found that to work.
It works for me, but you have to do it the right way.
Yeah.
You have to heat it in a saucepan.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
And
gonna
you
do
can't
that.
let it boil. You have to let it get really hot, you put the lemon in,
gosh.
you can't let it boil. If you are sick, this is an amazing thing. So you slice up your lemon, and you put it in hot water. Do not let it boil. Let it get really, really hot, but don't let it boil. And then you do whatever amount of honey that you like with that mix.
Huh.
And that's,
Honey and lemon and water is very tasty.
it's delicious. And then when it's hot, you're sick.
Yeah, that does sound good. I'm gonna have you come over next time.
The more you know.
They're giving us this side, ladies.
Oh,
Oh,
We gotta go, it's 2 minutes.
You guys were fun. I hope we were at least.